The Buddha once said, "All conditioned things are impermanent." Yet we live in a world where death is feared, avoided, and rarely spoken about. Why do we fear death so deeply? Is it because we see it as an ending, a loss, something unknown? But what if death is not the end at all? What if it is simply another transition, like the changing of the seasons? Today, let us explore why there is no need to fear death through the wisdom of the Buddha. From the moment we are born, we are already moving toward death. This is an undeniable truth of existence. Yet in many cultures, death is treated as something tragic, something to resist at all costs. In Buddhism, however, death is not an enemy. It is simply another phase in the continuous cycle of life. The Buddha taught that everything in this world is subject to change. Just as a river flows endlessly, never remaining the same, our lives also move forward in a constant stream of transformation. Death is not a final stop. It is a continuation, a doorway into another state of being. When we truly understand this, fear begins to loosen its grip. Death is no longer something to be anxious about, but a natural rhythm of existence. So why do we fear death? Because we are attached to the idea of self. We believe, this is my body, this is my mind, this is who I am. But the Buddha taught Anatta, the truth of no permanent self. What we call me is only a temporary collection of thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Even our bodies are constantly changing. The cells that made up your body 10 years ago no longer exist today. So ask yourself, what is the self we are so afraid of losing? When we let go of the illusion of a fixed, permanent identity, we also let go of the fear of death. Because if there is no solid me to cling to, then what is truly being lost? Look at the world around you. Flowers bloom and fade. Rivers flow but never stay the same. Seasons move from spring to winter without resistance. Nothing remains static. This is impermanence, and we suffer only when we try to resist it. We cling to youth, fearing old age. We cling to loved ones, fearing separation. But no matter how tightly we hold on, life continues to move forward. When we accept impermanence, peace arises. We begin to see that everything, including death, is part of the same natural process. And instead of fearing the end, we learn to fully embrace each moment, knowing that life is fleeting yet precious. In Buddhism, death is not an ending, it is a transition. The law of karma teaches that our thoughts, words, and actions shape what comes next. Just as a farmer plants seeds and later reaps the harvest, the energy we create in this life carries forward. The Buddha compared death to changing clothes. When robes become old and worn, they are set aside and new ones are put on. In the same way, when the physical body can no longer serve us, consciousness moves on, shaped by the karma we have created. If we live with kindness, wisdom, and mindfulness, we create positive karma. This leads to a peaceful transition and a favorable rebirth. So instead of fearing death, Buddhism teaches us to focus on living well, so that when our time comes, we can leave with a heart full of peace, not regret. Much of our fear of death comes from attachment. Attachment to loved ones, attachment to possessions, attachment to achievements and identity. But the Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. When we loosen our grip, not by rejecting life, but by appreciating it without clinging, we find freedom. We learn to love deeply without fear, live fully without anxiety, and accept death not as an enemy, but as a natural part of the journey. Death is not something waiting at the end of life. Change is happening in every moment. When we understand this, fear dissolves, and in its place arises clarity, gratitude, and peace. Live mindfully. Live compassionately. And when the time comes, you will not fear death, because you will have truly lived. We fear death because we cling to the people we love, to the things we own, and to the identities we have built over time. But the Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. Everything we hold on to will one day change or fade away. The tighter we grasp, the more pain we create for ourselves. Instead of resisting this truth, we can learn to let go gently. We can love deeply without possessing. We can enjoy life without fearing its end. And when death comes, we can meet it with openness and peace, knowing that nothing was ever truly ours to begin with. Mindfulness teaches us how to live this truth. Through meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts without clinging to them. We train the mind to watch fear arise without being controlled by it. Even the fear of death can be met with calm awareness rather than panic. Many Buddhist monks reflect on death daily. Instead of avoiding it, they contemplate it as a natural part of existence. This practice slowly dissolves fear and allows them to live and eventually die with serenity. Through mindfulness, we too can develop a mind that is not troubled by death, but one that embraces it as part of life's great unfolding. Rather than fearing death, we can allow it to become our teacher. When we truly understand that life is temporary, we begin to live more meaningfully. We love more deeply. We speak more kindly. We let go of grudges more easily. Knowing that time is limited helps us stop wasting it on trivial worries and empty pursuits. We stop chasing what does not truly matter and instead focus on what is real: compassion, wisdom, and inner peace. The Buddha himself faced death without fear. He taught that the enlightened do not grieve the end, because they understand that there was never a true beginning or a true ending, only continuous change. Throughout history, great monks and masters have passed away peacefully, even joyfully. Their lives remind us that freedom from fear is possible. We too can prepare for death by cultivating awareness, letting go of attachment, and living with understanding. Death is not the end. It is not an enemy. It is simply part of the great cycle of existence. When we accept this truth, we free ourselves from suffering, and in doing so, we finally learn how to live fully.